That's why I managed to stay single this whole time, you know?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Are you sober now?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never, but I have moments I have to.
You can't handle the truth!
You get in my face with that, I'll beat your goddamn ass, you son of a bitch. You piece of shit. You fucking goddamn fucker.
Teacher asked me how I view lesbian relationships. Apparently 1080p full screen HD wasn't the right answer.
Fucking hell yeah.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
Just gonna send it.
1 hour later.
Ding, ding, ding! What do we have for her, Johnny?
These nuts. Ha! Got him! Ha! Got him!
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah!
That's why I managed to stay single this whole time, you know?
You guys have been waiting patiently. You guys have been waiting patiently, and I appreciate you. I like that you guys get a little active in the comment section before I join. I like to watch. Somebody asked, what does he do while the timer is going down? And my response is, watch you guys bicker, fight, explain things, become friends, become part of the family, ask questions, get spicy, and just wait. Watch you wait patiently for episode 46 of the live Q&A. And thank you guys for being here, girls and guys, gals, friends and family, cigars, and of course I overfilled, but I'm gonna go slow. No mistakes. There's computers close. So episode 46 of live Q&A. Thanks that you guys for being here. Plenty of questions were asked. We're gonna get straight to the first one. Of course, you guys already know the game. You can jump in here and also get spicy in the comment section. So feel free to do so. Ask questions. Converse amongst yourselves. Enjoy, let's have fun, and get it started. If you're wondering why my voice sounds a little weird, yeah, tis the season for the allergies. So I'm medicated, very loopy, and I've been working with sawdust all morning, and all day, and all evening, and so I'm a little bit, and I'm medicated. So aside from the nicotine and the cigar, the tobacco, I should say. Yeah, I'm definitely medicated. So if you see me step away, it's a sneeze. If you see me step away, it might be a cough. And if you see me faint, it's the medication. So anyway, guys, thanks for being here. And we're going to get straight to it. My favorite question, and it was the first question. I don't usually like pre-screen these questions. So I'm just going to get to the first one. This is from Facebook, and it's asking, how long did it take you to build Marge? If you guys aren't aware who Marge is, if anybody's not sure, you can ask, but you're going to get a nice explanation right now. I think that's a great question, actually. How long did it take you to build Marge? About 3.5 months, maybe 4, depending on when you consider it finished. So I built my van in it was right during the shutdowns, the beer bug, the beer flu. Sound effects are nice. So how long did it take me to build Marge? I would say about 3.5 months. Usually it takes people 6 months to a year or longer. A couple months into my build of my van, turning it into an RV/camper, my best friend Sheldon, you've seen him on the show before, I'm sure. Most of you guys and girls have. And it took him, I think, a year to finish his, which is pretty normal. But I put Marge on fast track. I canceled a lot of things to get to her, and I was having so much fun that I just pretty much put life on hold so that I could get to the project. Ashley, I appreciate you putting me on the big screen. That's awesome. It's always cool. And thank you. It's probably kind of cool to hear your name, Ashley Gonzalez, to hear your name on the big screen while you're watching it, and an applause just for you. Okay, enough of that. But anyways, Large Marge, I built her in 3 months. I had a ton of fun. And if you guys don't know that she's my van/RV, I've taken her on many trips and excursions, and she does me well. She's an amazing asset to my family and to myself, just to be able to turn the key and go and park somewhere by a river and call it home for a weekend or a night or an evening or whenever. It's been amazing. And one of these days I'll have to do a little tour. Sheldon had the idea that we should sit in our vans and do a live show one day. While I'm in mine and he's in his, and we can put the cameras and the mics on. I think that would be quite interesting. And you guys would probably have fun seeing it too. Of course, I know I'm going to have fun showing it. So that's the first question, is how long did it take you to build Marge? 3.5 months. Most people take much longer. I also, of course, it was my first build, so I got really excited and rushed a few things, but I enjoyed it. I even kept one of her original hubcaps because I did change her wheels, and I made everybody who helped me work on it sign the hubcap. So it's kind of something like a trophy I'll keep forever. Kimmy, what's up? Thanks for being on here. Brody, thanks for being on here. Evie is here. Yes, you do agree that she needs more videos made. I agree. Rochelle is on here. What's up? I see some comments in the past getting pretty personal. Thanks, guys, for being on here and sticking with me and joining me. I always, of course, appreciate you. Okay, so the next question from Facebook is going to be, what's the last book that had an impact on you, or I'm sorry, on your way of thinking? Man, what's interesting about, books are so good. Sorry for the sniffling too, guys. We're gonna have to suffer. I'm doing some of the caffeine because I like Dr. Pepper anyway, but this is gonna keep me caffeinated for the next hour. So, what was the last book that had an impact on your way? Almost every book I've ever read has an impact on my thinking. There's very few books I've ever started reading and put down. There's a couple that I just felt like I was going nowhere with them, and I just didn't want to waste my time. I'd have to really think about that one if I wanted to be honest about the last one, because I put books down for about a year because I was so busy doing. I needed no more information. I was just grinding, and I've still been doing so. So I haven't really been getting into books this last year, although I do read a lot. That's such a good question, though. What's the last book that had an impact on your way of thinking? I know it's not fair, but I'm just going to name a couple. Impactful books that I don't think I could live without. Number one is easy. That's the Bible. It's the people cringe at that because they think religion, they think, dogma, they think, control. But the Bible's one of the most wisdom-filled books ever written. Also one of the most beautiful books ever written. If you look at it, from the outside looking in instead of from the inside looking out. And then a couple more. If you guys have never heard of a book called Devoted, Devoted is a book that I read, is incredible. And it's Rick and Dick Hoyt as a father and a son. I've talked about it before in here, but that was one of the most impactful books I've ever read. I'm going to name a couple. Since this is a good question, I can't name one. I'm going to give you a couple. Sorry, Evie. Books I would never want to live without that I use regularly, and it stays in my repertoire of tools I use daily, if not at least weekly. One would be the 1 Minute Manager. 1 Minute Manager. I don't remember all the authors, but the 1 Minute Manager is an incredible one. I wouldn't want to live without. Chicken Soup for the Soul is incredible. That's a really good one. If you guys have ever read any of those, just the first one, it's actually signed by Jack Canfield, the author, which is kind of cool. I did remember that author. Rochelle says, "Oh, a book I'll never stop recommending is The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. Sounds interesting." I like books that are hardcore, like stuff that's like life or death, the stuff that talks about man's struggle and search for meaning. Literally one of the most impactful books I've definitely mentioned before on her many times, which is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. It's a must read. You have to read this book, Man's Search for Meaning. The 1 Minute Manager. Can't Hurt Me. If you guys are familiar with that one, you should be. That's an incredible story. I really like that one. It's a self-authored book, and the guy just tells his life and his upbringing, and it's just incredible. So that's one of them. There's a lot of books that I can name that are really impactful to me. Donald Trump actually wrote a book once with a guy named Robert Kiyosaki, I believe it was, and it said, I think, Why We Want You to Be Rich. So that was a good one. Actually, I'll tell you another one that's really, really fucking good that changed my life when I was a kid. And it's called Think and Grow Rich. If anybody's struggling with life and trying to put things together at any age, from any point, I can tell you something really, that if you want to understand me, there's something you can look into if you have 4 hours of your time to waste, I guess, or to take. There's this video series called The Best Life Ever. It might be in part 1 all the way to 4, but the actual video is about 4 hours long. You can find it on YouTube, and it's called The Best Life Ever, and it's actually spoken. It's a seminar held by Jim Rohn, which has been impactful, deeply impactful in my life. This man was amazing. He's long passed, but The Best Life Ever is a seminar on YouTube available. It's incredible. But Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is an unbelievable book, and it really reminds me a lot of like a how-to book. If you've ever read, what is it? The Alchemist. A lot of you are probably familiar with that. The Alchemist. So the reason I say that is Think and Grow Rich is kind of like a how-to blueprint, and then The Alchemist is more of like the story. They don't go together by any means, but to me, in my mind, they do. So Think and Grow Rich is like a words of wisdom kind of blueprint for life, and then The Alchemist is kind of like a fantasy version of what that would look like. So anyway, those are good ones. I could go on and on. I love books. I love talking about them. So if you guys have more questions, feel free to ask or any input. Let's see. So Rochelle's saying that one of the books came to her at the right time, and it's often it's interesting because I think so many things are coming at us all the time. It's just when we're receptive to them. You know, like age-old wisdom in the Bible that says, "Seek and you shall find; ask and it shall be given." Somebody at once asked in the Bible, you know, how will I find God? And it said, when you're ready, He will reveal Himself to you. And I think that's the same as the truth or information or light. It will be revealed to you when you're ready. So if it's not being revealed to you, unfortunately, it's because you're not ready. I remind myself that all the time. Ashley's saying that she has received that book as a gift. That's awesome. I hope you've read it. It's really incredible. I'll name another one for fun. The 48 Laws of Power. I think it's 48 Laws of Power. Yeah, fuck, there's so many. The 48 Laws of Power is incredible. And then also the same author as Robert Greene. And it's Greene, I think, with an extra E at the end. And he wrote a book called Mastery and the 48 Laws of Power. Read those if you want to understand a lot about life as well. Especially if you're artist or creative or passionately driven towards something, then this book is really useful. Okay, so we're going to get to the next question because I could talk about books all day, and I love to. So let's go here. So this is coming from Instagram. Plans for the 50th show. So since we're on 46, we have, if my science is right, just a few more left, and then we'll be on the 50th. I'd say I should celebrate, but really to me, these lives are a moment for me to chill, celebrate, enjoy, have a nice cigar, which I fucking love, and talk with you guys, which I also love. Speaking of love, this is a good moment for me to use my nice deep allergy medicated larynx here to say, Linda, and if you're out there, if you're listening, wherever you are, whatever it is you may be doing, just know that I'm thinking about you. Linda, I know you're out there. And if somebody wants to relay the message, just let Linda know I'm thinking about you. I know you guys are always wondering if she's real or not. I promise you, she's very real. So the 50th show is coming up soon. I don't know. Maybe you guys can throw me some ideas. I'm not much of a celebratory, very much sounds like celebratory. Anyway, I'm not really that type of dude. So maybe you guys can have some really good ideas for me. Maybe I should invite some people. Maybe I should have some phone calls and some live call or live guests, and definitely try to get Sheldon on here. What do you think? Jennifer, thanks for being on here. She's saying, good evening. I love that I came during the book talks. The question was, what was a book that, most recent book that had an impact on my thinking? That's a good question. It's kind of a tricky question because all books have an impact on my thinking. Otherwise, I usually don't read them. I very often am only reading books on how to, or something that's like useful as like a mental tool. I actually heard of a book coming out soon. I think it's coming out soon. This guy's writing it, called Mental Jewels. And I'm really looking forward to reading it because I'm super into that. And also, Jennifer, pardon me for my sneezing. My allergies are killing me. And it's been windy and I've been working with wood for the last couple of days. And yeah, this dust is getting me. So hang in with me, guys. And thanks for being on here. Let's see. Okay. So let's get to the next question. And like I said, you guys can join me for giving me some ideas for the 50th. That would be awesome. Next question. How many tattoos do you have? Which one is your favorite? Which one was the most painful? Okay, these are 3 questions. I'll answer the first one. How many tattoos do you have? It's impossible to count because it's impossible to count one as a tattoo. So that's how you know you're tattooed, is when you can't count. It'd be impossible for me to count. And not because I have so many. It's just, how do you categorize one? Like if there's an image that has like 2 together, but they're done at different times, I have background and filler. Does that count? Is each one of these on my hand count as 3 because it was done at once? Is each, how do you count that? So there'd have to be lots of different numbers, but let's just say I have enough now that you can't count. So how many do I have? Not enough, but I'm on my way. Then the next one is, out of the 3, which one is your favorite? I would actually have to say that this one actually right here is my favorite. And actually, I didn't feel it at all. So the next question is, which one was the most painful? That's easy. That one's right here. And that was absolutely, just looking at it makes me remember. That was the most painful, hands down. I felt like he was sawing off my neck. Okay, so good questions, though. You guys should let me know, even if you only have one, what is the most painful tattoo you guys have? Just out of curiosity. Okay, so Jennifer, yes, you will have to check out the one that Rochelle recommended. I will too. Maybe she can tell me about it very soon. Landy saying you should write a book. I would like to write a book. I'm always skeptical of admitting what the title is because I would hate for somebody to use it, but whatever it is, what it is, you snooze, you lose. I should work on it more, but I got so much going on that it'll take a little while. But I do have a book I want to write called My Internal Empire, and I'm really excited about it. It'll be very much a personal story, and basically a story about my life and the lessons I've learned and where they came from, where I remember them, being taught. Like, what was the circumstances? What were the lessons? Who were the people? Much like if you've ever read the book, I don't know if it's a book, it's a compilation. It's the diary. I think it's the diary journals of Marcus Aurelius. I don't know if it has a book name, but it's the journals of Marcus Aurelius. I kind of want to write a book similar to that. at least in its format. It talks about the lessons he's learned and then who he learned them from, and then gives thanks to this person because he wrote this book towards the end of his life. Let's see. Jennifer, is that a book you're recommending? Every Little Star? Question. I'm just asking. I'm not sure. That's just a comment. Let's see. Okay. Ashley's asking also a question. What was the flip of a switch moment that changed your life perspective? I've had a lot of them. That's a good question. What was the flip of a switch moment that changed your life perspective? I've had a lot of those. Near life, actually, that's legitimate. Near life experiences are switches for me, and near death experiences. Near life experiences meaning like just such surreal moments that it's like it'll stick with you forever. You know, being on that canyon, looking down at the mountain with the sunset setting, and your kids and your family happy and warm and cozy, and you know, just so many cool memories in life that can flood through your brain of all the cool shit that's happened that changed my life perspective. And then also the pain and suffering. There's so many of them. What was the flip of a switch moment that changed your life perspective? Like, you're almost making it sound like there's one specifically. I mean, lots of things changed my life perspective. I would say the first time I meditated was quite a surreal moment, because I remember for the first time at 25 years old, I stopped and I consciously took a breath. Like, I purposefully I very consciously and purposefully did that. And I will tell you right now that doing that for the first time at 25 consciously made me realize I was able to do this my whole life, but I waited till now. Man, I wonder what kind of impact that would have had I known this sooner, and what kind of impact is it going to have now that I do know it and I can use it forever. There's so much more to it, but I can unpack, but I'll leave it there unless you have more questions. But one big one was the moment I took my first breath as a grown man at 25, raising a family, and realizing I actually, if I chose to consciously, could take autonomy over my own breathing. And it was powerful. Very, very powerful. Okay. Evie's saying top of the foot, maybe, in regards to most painful tattoo. I hope you guys don't mind my shirt, by the way. I was sawing a bunch of wood, so I was covered in sawdust. So I had to change my clothes. I looked like a total wreck. Jennifer saying any area near fatty tissue. That's definitely true usually. Ashley saying the butterfly on her back. Yeah, it does often feel like people are carving your skin out for sure. So it can be pretty bad. Kimmy saying the 3 stars on her foot. I remember that. I know you didn't like it. Oh, I see. I get it, Jennifer, about your comment now. And yeah, it would be impossible for me to count how many tattoos I have. Yes, let's see. Yeah, Evie, group meditation time. Meditation is really powerful. It's like turning off your phone when it's not working. You reset it, reboot it. Sleeping doesn't always do that because not all of us actually get good, healthy sleep. I sleep like a baby. I won't give you my secrets unless you ask, but I have secrets to sleeping like a fucking baby. I won't tell you all of them, but I will tell you some of them. Jennifer saying her toe hurt for a while, but didn't last long. Lower back center was fine, but they worked. Fatty tissue, I thought I was going to tap out. Yeah, it can be very, very painful for sure. Ashley says, no, I was going to say I like that shirt on you. It's kind of like a long sleeve, but I have monkey arms, so I can't wear it like, well, you can't even see it in the camera. I can't wear long sleeves because they don't actually fit me. So I have to, it's not me showing off. I just have to pull them up. It doesn't work. Rochelle said her husband wants a camel tattoo on his toe. He's not kidding. I'm down. Let's do it ASAP whenever you get around to coming into town, and we'll do that for you. You just let me know. That's funny. He wants to get a camel on his toe. He should just get a moose on his knuckle. Man, this thing is smoking fucking good. This is amazing. I don't know if any of you guys are cigar smokers, but this is really fucking good. This is Rough Rider Sweets. I think it might be flavored. That's a little sweet, sweeter than I would expect tobacco to be. Indian Head, see, handmade. They should be. Rough Rider, sweetest. See, Indian Head. That's all I got. Indian Head Cigars. Okay, so it's Indian Head Cigars, Rough Rider. This fucking thing is amazing. It's really, really fucking good. It's probably not great for my allergies, but it's fucking Wednesday, so let's do this. Let's do, yes. Yeah. Okay, so Rochelle, we're gonna definitely set that up as soon as possible. Let me go ahead and get to the next question. Amy is asking on Facebook, I believe. No, this is Instagram. I'm ready for my next tattoo. When can we start? That's awesome. Well, how about this?
Give me your fucking money!
Your trash, kid.
I didn't mean to have that one. Just this
Give
one.
me your fucking money!
That's right.
silly? I'm still gonna send it.
Okay, so Amy, if you're watching this, you're ready for your next tattoo appointment. When can we start? Well, it might be till January, February, but it depends on my schedule and if things open up. And I'm mostly only doing portraits and realism right now. So falls under that category. It gets pushed to the front as best I can. Okay, so you guys know my usual response to I'm ready for my next tattoo. When can I come? When can we start? Maybe you guys on here can remind her. Next question, and this is also coming from Instagram. The rest of these mostly will be. What is the best advice someone has given you, and what's your advice for others? Fuck. This is good shit. This is Dr. Phil stuff again. This is really good. Let's take a moment on that one. Ashley saying, hey, where's mom? That's a good question. Maybe mom's busy. I'm not sure. She's not on here. I haven't seen her. Scrolling back. No Susan. Mom, if you're there, let me know. If not, I hope you're doing well and I love you. And I hope to get to see you soon. Okay. Christy's on here. Thanks, Christy, for showing up. So thank you guys for being here. Ashley, Brody, Jen, Kimmy, Rochelle, everybody. Thank you. It's cool. Let's see here. All right. So next question. What is the best advice someone has given you? It's pretty simple advice. I think the best advice someone's ever given me is take a responsibility for yourself. I don't think she watches these, but I'll let her know what my response is. Coming from Spooky Moogs. She works with me, so it'll be easy to find her. What is the best advice someone has given you? Sorry, getting some ash on my L computer. Don't want to get disconnected from the interwebs. So the best advice someone has ever given me, is just take responsibility for yourself. It wasn't even advice; it was more of a statement, but it is great advice. So take full responsibility for yourself. Sometimes even extreme responsibility. And Brody, thank you so much for saying that. So now Amy knows what to do if she wants an appointment. It's right there. Who doesn't love that button? I'm sure some of you guys are like, fuck, he's going to do the sound effects again. Okay, so the best advice someone has ever given me was my father saying, take responsibility for yourself. The second one that I can think of, I've said often here, is never get bit by the same dog twice. That was something I remember my father teaching me as a young kid. Every time something would happen where I just made mistakes over and over, he would reiterate that over and over. And what's your advice for others? It's interesting because it's so vague, but also very important. What's your advice for others? My advice is watch the show. Join me live, get in the comments, check me out on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, join us here so that you guys can get the info you need and have so long been waiting for. And so that's my advice. What's your advice for others? My advice for others is to live your life most optimally so that you can get as close to you can as your fullest potential, so that when you die, there will be a few things left on your list that you're just going to have to write off as undone. But the most important ones you can check off as being something you've accomplished or experienced. That would be it. That was actually not that bad. Evie saying, I stretch and meditate before bed. That's really good. I kind of do the same thing because I do a lot of neck stretches in the shower. Once with the hot water, it just fucking changes my life forever. You can like feel the blood flowing through your head all of a sudden. Jennifer is saying, I swear by either journaling before bed or doing some mindfulness. Interesting, because I do that first thing in the morning because it makes me very alert. I don't like to do those things when I'm going to sleep just because I feel like it's like reading before I go to sleep. I don't retain it. It just puts me to sleep. Or like if I'm meditating, for example, I have to do it when I'm not tired at all. Otherwise, I won't actually go into a deep meditation. I'll just go into a deep sleep. Let's see. Rochelle saying, best advice I've received is You don't have to participate in other people's shit. It's good. I like that actually a lot. Definitely sounds like something Dad says or Mom. Shelly Bear, what's up, man? What's going on? Let's get you on here. Let's do this. We should get you on as a caller. You want to call in and say what's up? It's only 8 o'clock. I hope you're not fucking sleeping yet. So what's up, man? You want to join us live, Shelly? You ready? What are you up to, brother? Let me know what's going on. Okay. Christy's also sympathetic to the allergies. The allergies are fucking crazy. It's the wind. Anytime it's sunny and warm and then wind fucking gets me. Okay. Yeah, personal sauna. Jeez. I wish I had that. Okay. Let's get to the next question. When can I get in for my second portrait, bro? I emailed you a couple of times. Hit me up, bro. This is Garcia. So Garcia, if you're watching, if you literally emailed us through the website, then someone should be getting back to you. If not, I would try sending another one and checking to make sure it's not going to your junk. It does often happen because it's email and it's just reality. But call also. The best thing to do is if you're not getting a response, call. We have a phone number for a reason. If you call between the hours of 10 and 6, 7 o'clock during the week, someone most likely will be answering. It won't be me, but somebody will be. And then that way you can get your needs met. And portraits for sure, man. Fucking let's roll. Okay. And you guys know I'm always trying to get to your comments here on the stream and make sure you don't get left out. I hope I do a good job. You guys are doing a good job by keeping it entertaining, so thank you. Let's see here. Rochelle was saying that Mom said it and it opened my eyes. I agree. I remember my dad always used to do this with his hands and say, you know, this is my impression of him. It's not a good one because I'm not, my voices aren't really working today. I got this one and that's it. He goes, you know, I go, is this my shit or is this someone else's shit? And if I realize in life this is someone else's shit I'm dealing with, let it go. Like, why would you be holding on to somebody else's shit? And I thought, oh, that was very literal, but very much useful. And sometimes you do have to ask yourself, wait, is this my shit? Is this even my shit? If it's not my shit, what am I doing handling it? This is ridiculous. It's awesome. Reminds me of a monkey throwing poop. Sorry, sidetrack. Jennifer said she's going to give me some nasal sprays. I have nasal sprays and they work. You know what? I know this is crazy, but I've had allergies for a long time, and the best things to do are usually sauna, sleep, hot showers, and relaxing. Nasal sprays, for me, have always made it worse. I know people have good experience with them, but they make me worse. They make me, it's intolerable. Yeah, long story short, they don't work very well typically for me. Lenore's saying, no one with you tonight. You're all with me tonight, so thanks for being here, guys. It's awesome. Let's get you a little applause.
Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
Christy said, I have a cue. Would you hate us if we made our own chat? Maybe. I'm not sure what that means. If you made your own chat, I'm not sure what that means. Shelly's saying I was at Levi's track meet. I'm just dropping him off. That's awesome. Tell Levi I said hello. Hope that little boy's doing well. He's not so little anymore. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. That's it's a good one. I love getting advice from parents, especially. One of these days, if you guys are ever in person, I'll give you some of them. It's super inappropriate. I'm not going to bring it up here, but in person, I don't mind giving you some of the advice that my grandparents gave me. My grandmother and my grandfather both gave me a pretty interesting piece of advice, if you've never heard it. Can't say it here, so I'll have to do it in person. Okay, so I answered Garcia's portrait question. Let's see here. Oh, Mama's here. What's up, Mom? Hope you're doing well. Glad you're on here. Love you. I got it. Let's see here. Mama is in the house. That's right. So everybody say hi to Mom. You got to say hi to Mom. If you're on here, you have to say hi to Mom or I'm going to block you and ban you. If you don't think I'll ban you, just ask Mom. Okay, next question. Thanks for letting us know your whereabouts. This is, okay, so this is not a question. This is a statement. One of my apprentices, because I posted on, oh man. Okay. So anyway, again, hi mom, love you. I'm glad you're here. So today I didn't show up to the shop. I didn't call. I didn't do it. Anything. My appointment didn't show up. Actually, my appointment called in. And, so I had the day to myself and I just decided to have a me day. That sounds so feminine, female. I had a me day. I went to the spa. I didn't go to the spa. I went to the man spa. I went to Lowe's. I bought some lumber and I built something and I really enjoyed it. I built an entryway table out of a beam and some 2x4s, black paint and some stain. Anyway, it's beautiful. And I've been working on stuff for the house to get it ready for some events coming up. And I just enjoy working with my hands. So sometimes I don't want to be sterile. I don't want to have gloves on. I don't want to have to worry about making things for other people. I just want to do something for me. And today was that day, and I decided to stay out of the shop. Plus, my allergies have, if you can't tell in my eyes, it's pretty obvious. And in my voice, and my sniffling, and my coughing, that this allergy thing's kicking my ass. So staying away from the shop was nice. Anyway, so one of my apprentices said, thanks for letting us know your whereabouts. We were lost without the shop father, which is what they call me, the shop father. It's cool to see her say that. But yeah, I didn't tell anybody I wasn't coming in. I just got sidetracked and busy doing shit. And they saw on my story that I was not coming in and that I was building shit. So anyway, that's that. Okay. I got one last question, but before I do, let's make sure I'm not skipping you guys here. Ashley says, hey, your guys' mental health matters too. Your me days are necessary. I'm glad you did that. They are. They for sure are. And I don't always get to do them, but I take advantage of them when something like a customer doesn't show up or cancels. And usually I feel it, but I got shit to do, things I want to do, and I wanted to catch up on some projects, and I built a entryway table today, so it was fun. I super fucking enjoy making things. Working with my hands, not having to worry about, like I said, wearing gloves and being careful, just banging on shit and staining things, cutting. I actually busted out my chainsaw because I had to cut a big 6-inch beam. And it was 6 inches by 12 inches. I'm sorry, 4 inches by 12 inches. And so to cut it, it's kind of difficult with a scale saw, a circular saw. So I busted out the chainsaw and got to use it. So fucking, how's that not fun? For me, it's how I take care of myself. Jennifer's asking, have you ever considered allergy shots to build a tolerance? I've considered it. I've just never done it. I typically just have to be really mindful of making sure when it's windy, I'm staying indoors. It's kind of, I just kind of try to treat it like winter. If it's just super cold, just stay indoors. It sucks that when it's most beautiful outside, I have to stay inside. It's nature's way of saying, Joshua Ray Farmer, please stop stepping on me. Let me grow back, and then you can come trample through my woods. And it curses me with allergies for a few months. So Lenore saying, it's always good to have a me day. Just came back from doing me nails, pedicure, eyebrows done. Yeah, so like I never do that kind of stuff. And to me, it's going to the hardware store or going to the lumber yard or building something or painting something. And it's just like relaxing and meditative to me. Gamer said, hey, I made it. That's good. You're just in time, actually, especially if you want to get some of the questions in. Ashley is saying them traps peeking through that shirt. I apologize. It wasn't intentional. I usually don't wear shirts like this. I just literally was covered in sawdust. Jennifer saying she's allergic to most outdoor elements. I can tell you right now, I guaranteed I'm allergic to tree pollen. That's what gets me. And I've been technically cutting up trees for the last couple of days, and the sap and everything it's all getting to me. It's just that time of year. You can always tell I'm going to be fucked by looking at cars driving down the road. If they're covered in dust, little, green, yellow dust, Josh is screwed. It's like my nemesis. I can be as healthy as I want. It fucks me. Brody Jade saying, finally used your B-Day gift. Yeah. Yes, that's right. My chainsaw was actually bought for me for my 40th birthday by my apprentices. And it was Samurai's idea, and they all pitched in and bought me a fucking chainsaw. How rad is that? It's super fucking rad. It was awesome. Getting it was awesome, and using it was fucking rad. Lenore says, I love using power tools myself, too. That's good. Power tools are awesome. Yeah, I like seeing you guys all converse in here, too. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun to see. All right, so the last question on Instagram. Do you prefer to be asked questions on IG or Facebook? I sent mine to Facebook per usual. That's actually a good question. I did mention back in the past that I would have an email for you guys to be able to submit questions to. I haven't set that up because I'm in the middle of building a website. It's hopefully really, really close to being done. Things are in the works and they're coming together quickly, which is going to be really exciting. So I'm going to have a website. It's going to be called thetattoovault.com. So the Tattoo Vault is going to be where anything like this, any of my media, anything learning, anything, educational, but also entertainment in regards to my business, my lifestyle, my tattooing, my photography, filmmaking, that kind of thing is going to live there. There'll be courses and classes for sale. You guys have heard me talk about that before, that I do this thing usually a few times a month where I teach young kids that are interested in the, not always young kids, but typically is young people to get into the industry and what to expect and how to best suit themselves and find themselves, part of something so wonderful as, being a tattooer, some ancient practices. It's pretty cool. Okay. So do I prefer to be asked questions Facebook or Instagram? Honestly, it doesn't matter where. The best is just responding to the sticker that I post on the story. If you could do that, that's awesome. But I'll take questions any way I can. So thank you for submitting those. I have quite a few other questions. If you guys don't have them on here, if you do, ask them. And we're going to get to some of the other ones here in a second. Ashley saying, nice watch, Joshua. Thank you. It's it's actually covered in spray paint right now. It's black spray paint on it, and that makes me feel terrible. But I'll get it off there. It's easy. Let's see. Landy saying merch. I don't know what you mean, but merch is good, and I have some. It's on my website. You can find it there. You can order it. You can come pick it up. You can order it. You can come pick it up. You can have it shipped, whatever you want. Guy said I was allergic to Oregon. Oh, I got an allergy prick test done. I was allergic to 9 out of 10 things. Dog was the only one I wasn't allergic to. And the guy said I was allergic to Oregon. Well, that's when my allergy started, was when I lived in Portland, in Oregon. In Oregon City. My allergies hit me like a fucking brick wall. I actually pretty much lost a job because my allergies were so bad at the time when I was 16. Let's see. Jennifer saying, I wonder which one is worse, California or Oregon? I would say Oregon. Man, especially because it's tree pollen for me. There's no more trees in the world than I've ever seen than in Oregon. So, yeah, there's a reason why there's a big green tree on their license plate. Rochelle saying she had bad allergies growing up in Fresno too. I do remember that. I remember some of those issues, but I never had any of those issues until I moved to Oregon. So it could have just been an age thing. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to get to the next question. These are kind of personal ones. These are fun. These are kind of like, I don't want to say childish in a negative way, but like fun, playful, I guess. It's a good way to make sure I don't let this cigar go out. This is about the time where I usually do. Jennifer said, how about some new hats? So you're talking about merch. I don't have new hats, I don't believe, but maybe soon I'll have some. Maybe one day I'll have some help with designing some of that stuff, and it'll be a little easier for me to put out stuff more often. But it's just another one of those things that's on the list. Let's see. And Ashley's also saying Washington wasn't very kind to her when it came to allergies. Yeah, the Pacific Northwest, man, it is fucking green. There was shit everywhere. So, yeah. All right. So the next question. Let's get to these. These are fun. These are playful. If you guys want to play along, you can answer them too. It'd be fun to hear them while I answer them. Tell me what your response also is. What is your favorite type of music? ? What is your favorite type of music? For me, that's actually kind of easy. My favorite type of music, if I can only listen to one thing, sounds really boring to some people, but that's fine because I love it. It takes me to another place. It's like transcending classical, anything the classics, like anything Mozart, Beethoven, Bach. One of my favorites actually is man, I'm forgetting his name. Werner. It'll come to me. But he wrote Tristan and Isolde, and also Eric Satie is another one that I like. Of course, the classics, I would say like any of the French and the old world sort of composers are the ones that I dig. So anything classic is my jam. I would listen to classic music all day, actually. People hate it in the shop, but I fucking love it. Ashley's saying, what are you drinking tonight? Did you eat today? I am drinking Old Trusty Dusty. Just because I'm not feeling super good. I am medicated and I didn't want to mix all of it. A little caffeine will help, but I didn't want to get too carried away. Ashley's saying the older stuff, 30s and 40s, I dig that, especially when it comes to blues. Super awesome, super punk rock, bluesy, like roaring 20s, sort of 30s, 40s stuff is really cool. I'm going to try to not let this go out. I think I'm too late. It's hard to do. It's fun. It's a challenge, but it's hard to do. Okay. So what's your favorite type of music? That's the classical answer. Classical. If you guys want to join in, let me know what's your favorite type of music. Growing up as a teenager, before being a teenager, so the early years was almost all classical country. Like I'd get my hands on some weird stuff like in thrift stores, like tapes and stuff, and I'd play them and I loved them. By the time I was 13, 14, it was really influential in the punk rock scene to me. Anything from things like Offspring and hardcore stuff like Minor Threat, all the way to, let's say, even Marilyn Manson, less punk rock and more kind of shock rock, whatever you call it. As I grew up, it was more bluesy stuff, and then it really just became after that more country, more folk. I love folk music right now. I love the country sort of folk kind of new guys coming out. They're pretty badass. They sound like the old guys, even though they're new guys. There's this really cool shit. So Chris Stapleton's kind of a good go-to to kind of illustrate what I mean by some of the newer guys. And the next question, if you could live in any time period, which would it be? If I can live, okay, let's play this two ways. If I had to live in a different time period that isn't now, what would it be? Or if I could just pick anyone, what would it be? So let's play it two ways. First, let me get to this. Jennifer's saying 60s and 70s. 60s was amazing. I think the 50s was better. Let's see. I love the 70s for sure. Rochelle saying, P.S. I'm listening to this through headphones as a passenger right now, and the volume is shit, so I'm trying my best to hear you. I wonder if it's my volume. Hopefully it's not my volume. I hope you guys can all hear me just fine. If you want, sis, I can do this, and tell me if that helps. Yeah. So Rochelle's already got a funeral song picked out. Interesting. I have mine picked out as well. So Time to Say Goodbye is what you want played. I actually have a classical song I want played, and that's the Tristan song written by, who is it? Richard Wagner. He's German, so it's actually Richard Wagner. So Wagner is one of my favorite, you could say Wagner, I guess, but Wagner is the right way to say it. And it's amazing. The last 15 minutes of that song is just dreamy. So I'd like that played at my funeral. So we've already got that picked out. Not grim, just reality. Let's see. Jane Bear saying bluegrass. That's right. Some of that new bluegrass stuff is good. Ashley saying 40s and 50s, 100%. I have said I was born in the wrong era for a long time. I disagree. You were born in the right era because you could have never been born at any other time, and you will never be born any other time from now. At least not you like you are now. This is our only chance, and you are meant to be here right now. Okay, sis, so I'm going to stay kind of close for you so that you can hear this and not struggle. Could be my voice too. Okay, so the question is, if you could live in any time period, what would it be? If I had to pick a time period other than this right now, I would probably say something, medieval, or something Renaissance-ish, if it could be like, whether it's Scottish, English, or something. I know it's super futile and very bloody back then, but something where knights and horses and battles and axes and hammers were used. I would choose that. It's really a runner-up between that and maybe like being born in the 30s so that I could be alive and well and part of the action that kept our country alive in the 40s and the 30s and 40s with World War II. I would probably pick one of those two eras. But if I had to pick any time at all, it would be right now. Why wouldn't it be right now? Everybody I love is here right now. Plus, there's never been a better time to be alive. Let me know if you guys disagree. Has there ever been a better time to be alive than right now? I would love to know what you got. That's a good way to kind of end this show if we stay on this note for a little while. Has there ever been a better time to be alive? That's my question to you guys right now. Rubber Booster's on here. Thanks for being on here, Rubber Booster. That's a really cool name, and that's also a really cool icon. Favorite shoe brand, Rubber Rooster. I don't really care about shoes that much, but I would probably pick. It's a terrible answer, but Die Hard. Some shit work boots, but I wore them forever, and I beat them to death. And I've had so many pairs, and I went through so many pairs. They were part of my toolkit, but yeah, Die Hards. They're not the best work boots, but they're what I bought. Okay. Kimmy says, I can totally see you as a Greek god or a Roman warrior. Yes, that's cool with me. I will fucking take it. That's pretty badass. Actually, I probably should find this. And
Ding, ding, ding! What do we have for her, Johnny?
I can't even find the other one that I want to play. Where is it? Let's find this. What the heck? What's going on here? There he is. Wait, that's not it. Oh, there you go.
That's what she said.
That took forever. I am out of it today. Now I'm picturing Josh in a Renaissance garb. Yeah, I don't know. Just go to one of the Renaissance fairs with me. Matter of fact, if you guys want to go to the Renaissance fair, we can batch it together to do the skinny dipping and the Renaissance fair all together because it's one of my favorite things to do. Well, both are one of them, but Renaissance fairs are super fun. Sorry about that. So, wait, I may need to delete the upcoming Rubber Rooster spam. Is that spam? I don't know what that means. Let's see here. What would be your occupation during the Renaissance? Jennifer says. Wow. Probably something in the science, astronomy world. Something exploratory, or even more possibly, probably not a painter. I don't think I have the tolerance for just one thing like that in one spot. I already tattoo and it drives me crazy, so I need to sometimes get out. But I would say probably something exploratory, especially regarding science and the stars and the heavens. It was definitely not very, it was frowned upon, but something like that, or occupation, man, that's a good one. I'd probably like to create plays, screenwrites, and theater. I would say that's probably it. Nope, right now is the best time. Damber says, nope, right now is the best time. So what is the best time? You guys, would you rather be alive now or any other time? When is the best time in all of human history to have been alive? Because everybody has different opinions about this, but I think they're all wrong if they don't say now. Now is the best time, because now is when you are here, and the rest of it doesn't exist. It's all right now. It always has been now, and always will be now for whoever it is that admits it. And you gotta grab the bull by the horns, guys. You guys are agreeing. Okay, when is it, the Renaissance Fair? Actually, the Renaissance Fair happens a few times out of the year, usually around October. It's incredible. It's super fun. Me and the kids go. So if you want to see me in a kilt, that's the way to roll. Let's see here. Rochelle's saying sword maker. That would be really cool. I would love to be a blacksmith. That would be really fun. Okay. So we're going to do the next question, because that is a good one. Well, I guess I already indirectly answered if I could be live in any time period, it would be now. But otherwise, it would probably be something more, let's say, ancient or medieval. Next question is, how often do you play guitar? Lately, it's not been very often at all, unfortunately. But I have a guitar in every building that I go. Well, I have a guitar in my studio and at the shop and at home. And so I try to play as much as I can, because it's fucking makes me feel super good. And it actually keeps my hands very healthy, so that tattooing doesn't become a problem. And so it gives me dexterity. So I try to play it daily if I can, but if not, at least a couple of times a week. It used to be daily. if I'm not feeling good and life's kind of rough, I'm playing it daily. And when things are going good and business is well, I'm playing it a few times a week at best. Do you own any animals? I have 2 kids and a stepdaughter. So yes. Let's see. Ashley says, I'll be there in October. That's awesome because we can get super Renaissance-y. Yeah, that would be cool. Jennifer says, you can do that now, write movies or books. I agree. And I am. This is a movie, kind of in the new 2023 version. We're doing the new modern movie / book. And that's what this is. So that's why I really enjoy it. So again, thank you for being here. Okay. Rubber Rooster saying, I kind of like the 1700s aesthetic, to be honest. Victorian, I guess it's called. Yeah, I mean, the aesthetic's really cool. There's a lot of stuff that comes out of the ancient eras that are beautiful, whether it's architecture or art or poetry, whatever it is, music even. Music for me would be around the 1700s. That would be my favorite around that time. Oh, yeah, Rochelle. I thought the same thing, but it does happen time to time. I hate having to block people, but Rubber Rooster so far has been really cool. If you guys are on here and you're new, or even if you're not and you'd like to, you should let us know where you're watching from. Long-time listeners, no-time callers. Joining me. Even if you haven't commented or you're not joining in, let me know where it is you guys are watching from. It's always nice to see. Let's see. Lenore's asking, are we dressing up for the Renaissance? That's up to you, but you should if you want to partake in the culture. I think it's actually a very rich experience to do so. It's like transporting back in time, which is really why I fucking enjoy it. Okay, next question. Oh, interesting. What would your perfect woman be? Oh, man. That's like the easiest question I've been asked so far. What would the perfect woman be? Well, go back on my Instagram, Facebook, and do what you can to see any of the videos I posted previous to 2014, or even some in the recent past, and you will see her. The perfect woman for me, I've already spent many nights with such a woman. So what would the perfect woman be? She'd be about 5'5", 5'6". She'd be about 160 to 200 pounds, blonde or black, whichever one she liked. Blue eyes, big legs, big derriere, tiny waist, feisty attitude, incredibly ocean blue eyes, and she would hate to be called beautiful because of her eyes. And she would absolutely do everything in life she wants to do her way, which means if you found yourself in her life, it only means because she wanted you to be there. So that would be the perfect woman. Okay, let's see. I don't want to miss you guys on here. Ashley's saying she's definitely going to participate. That would be awesome. We should do it. Okay. Rubber Rooster, what's one thing from the 90s you miss? Rubber Rooster, I think... Do I know who this is? Probably not. I had a weird guess all of a sudden, but I'll leave it to myself. What's the one thing from the 90s you miss? That's really fucking easy. I miss people talking to people in person. That was the only way to communicate besides a phone. You couldn't watch people on TV unless they were Hollywood. And we just assumed all that shit was fake anyway, where now anything people see online, we have to go back to telling them again that it's not fucking real. Even when you say, no, it's real, watch, look at the video. It's not fucking real. You guys watch so much shit that is such propaganda, and you think it's real, and it is not real. I have not watched TV since I was a kid, and I can tell you right now, I feel like an alien in a world that's sucked into TV so much and just shows that I feel very odd when I talk to people in this new modern world. Because in the 90s, it wasn't like that. The only way to communicate was in person. You want to meet a girl, you better go outside and go talk to people. You want friends, you got to go out. You want to meet people, do things, have fun. You have to go somewhere and do something with people. And that's kind of dying right now. So I do miss that dearly. Ashley saying she was wonderful. 100% the most wonderful. I totally agree. Rochelle saying grunge is what I miss. Yeah, it's coming back. That's for sure. But its heyday was really fun. Mom is saying his mom. Yes, my mom is the most wonderful woman I know for sure. Next would be my daughter. She's incredible. Okay, so let's get to the next question. So you already know what my perfect woman would be. blue eyes, blonde hair, big butt, feisty attitude, and super selfish. So selfish that if you found yourself in her life, then you knew that it's only because she wanted you there. Are you more of a night owl or an early bird? I don't like to sleep. I try not to sleep. I hate sleep. I wish I never had to sleep. I know it's good for me, so I take it seriously, but I just try to get regular sleep so that I can get it over with and get on with my day, because there's so much shit I want to do. You know, like on Christmas, when you can't sleep and you wake up early, and even though you only slept for a couple hours, you're still up and ready to go. That's how I live my life. Waking up and excited about the new things to come. Even if they're hard and scary, I wake up anxious about them in a good way. Ashley's saying, I don't watch TV either. You are the TV I watch. That's good. I think this is more real than anything you're going to watch on a television show. It's just useless. I've said it before, but I'll say this again, that I think it's funny when I think it's interesting. It's ironic when I wear a kilt, put some boots on, bring a sword and a backpack and some food and some water up to a mountain so I can climb its peak, stand there in the night and watch the stars come up and go down, and live life in a very primitive sort of way, connecting with history and our roots and primitive man. Connecting to that is very important to me. What I find ironic and interesting and funny is when people laugh at that when I tell them what I've done, or when they see me, they're like, you wore a kilt and brought a sword up to the top of a mountain. And then my response back is always the same, that you sit and watch shows where people do that and it's not real. And that's okay with you. But when I do it in real life and actually live the thing in which entertains you, instead I'm experiencing it, I find that ironic. You'd rather watch it, and that's okay. As long as it's a show, it's okay. But if it's real life, it's not okay. And I just think people are fucking missing out on lots of things, not just kilts and swords. But people are missing out on life by entertaining themselves way too fucking much. They're medicating with entertainment. It's just sad. It's sad to see. And we all fall victim to it to some degree. But to let it really be a massive part of your life is just a disservice to the fact that you've won the cosmic lottery and you're here and you are living for now, right now, and to waste it on watching stuff that's just mindless. It's not even just mindless. It's entertaining. It's good. It's people say they get something from it, whatever. It's other people's fake lives. It's not even real lives. It's fake people playing fake characters in a fake story when you're living a real one, and you should be living that best you can. It's way more entertaining in a deeper way. Real life's already badass. You don't need fake versions of it. I'm not saying don't make stories and make shit up, but real stuff's already fucking awesome. Rochelle's saying she's a night owl. She needs 8 hours to get her best rest. I need at least 6. 6 and 7 is perfect. Anything less than that starts to really get me really quickly. I tried 4 to 5 for about a year, and it was not okay for me. I needed more than that. 5 is just pushing it. But I can catch up on sleep. If I have a hard week or something, I can catch up on sleep and be right back in Adam Sunday or Monday by sleeping in quite a bit on one day out of the week. That really helps a lot. It's actually been scientifically proven that you can actually technically catch up on sleep missed, and has a very healthy effect, as if you, in a sense, got really good quality sleep. So at least catching up on your sleep is really important. Rubber Rooster saying, Gods, speaking of TV, the Jersey Shore era was the worst. I totally agree. I think we know too much about fake people on fake shows than we do about our real lives and our real people in our real show, the real life show that's happening. The real comedy of life is happening, and we're missing it because we're watching fake bullshit, and that's what they want. They, meaning the companies, the corporations, the people in control, the people in power, the people wanting you to be a consumer, just a blood bag that they can feed off of like a vampire. They don't want to kill you. They want to keep you consuming, so that they can keep producing, so that you keep consuming and they can keep producing. And it's just a vicious cycle where you're the victim, and it's self-chosen. Good song talked about that once. Self-chosen. My pain is self-chosen. Danbury says it's definitely a lot more fun to watch. I like the interaction with the group here. I totally agree. I think this is awesome. I mean, I don't know how entertaining it really is. I think it's fucking cool, and I enjoy it, so that's what matters. And you guys obviously do too, and I have some regulars, so thank you guys very much. Like I always say, it's really fun to be here. And I appreciate it. It's really cool. Okay, next question. Have you ever been married? That's a very personal question. I wonder who's asking this. Somebody's got something on their mind. The next question is also, would you ever get married? I will answer that. I will answer that as honestly as I can. Oh, by the way, naps are powerful. Naps are really powerful. And I don't mean 3-hour naps. I mean like 10, 15 minutes is fucking... Have you ever have you ever went to go to bed? You sit on the couch, you got something to do. You're reading something, you're watching something, you pass out, you wake up 10 minutes later and you can't go back to sleep. Yeah, that's called a nap. Naps re-energize you and wake you up. So don't do that before you go to bed, but you can do that throughout the day. I'm pretty pro at that. I'm a pro napper. So pro napper, that sounds terrible. That sounds illegal. Okay, have you ever been married? Would you ever get married? I have never legally been married. I don't believe personally in the legal ramifications of being married. I don't subscribe to, like I've said this before, if somebody were to cut this out as a soundbite, it might look really terrible, but I think one of the downfalls in the last 10 years for human rights was voting for gay rights to be married. I thought that was a really terrible idea to do, and people that voted for it, I think it was a mistake, because I don't think that they should have had to need the government's approval to do so. I think they should have fought for the right for the government to have the government step out of their business, just like we should have the right for the government to step the fuck out of our business, so that we could be free individuals. We should have never fought for, the gay community, the LGBTQ people. We should have never fought for their rights to get married. In my opinion, we should have fought for our individual human rights to keep the government out of our fucking business. So I think it was a mistake. I think we invited the wolf in completely by doing that, and I think it was a mistake. I think we should have went the other way, been more liberating in a civil rights sort of sense. Okay, that's controversial for some people, but I'm just not into the legally getting married thing, especially in the Western world. Statistics show that men are absolutely the ones who get fucked when, at least financially, when they work their asses off and everything gets taken from them. I've seen it too many times from my friends, regardless of what, people think about that. I've seen it way too often to call it anything other than really unfortunate for men when they work really fucking hard and everything gets ripped out from under them. It's happened to me, and I would never make that mistake of legally getting married. But committing to somebody in my heart is a totally different issue, and I don't think it has anything to do with the government. Well, for me, it has nothing to do with the government. If I committed to you, I committed to you. It's nothing to do with a piece of paper at all. My commitments to myself and my family are way more binding in blood and sweat and tears than anything the government will ever hold me to. Okay. Are you a Chevy or Ford guy? That's another question, also from Facebook. Chevy or Ford guy? I'm a good vehicle, whatever runs, show me something badass and useful, and I will take it. So it really doesn't matter. I love some Chevys, and I like some Fords. I would love to have a 1969 Chevy C10, and Fords, I would, same year, same model, or same Ford F-150 would also be really cool from the 60s or 70s. So I'm into it. I drive a Ford, so it's a very trusty vehicle. And then next question, this is a good one. This is really good. Let's see. Do you have insecurities? Interesting. I think everybody has insecurities. I think anybody that says they don't, it's just simply lying or not paying attention, trying to act tough. I'd like to say no, because I don't give into them. So I would like to give you my answer, which is no, I don't have insecurities. They don't register whatsoever. If they pop up like little annoyances and disturbances, and I just write them off as not important. So when they do pop up, if that's what you mean by insecurities, I just don't consider them. They don't matter to me, so I don't give them any attention. I'm sure there's some subconscious ones that I have too, but when it comes to insecurities, they don't matter to me. When I was younger, they did, but as I've gotten older, and I'm a grown man now, I've done some amazing things. I've raised a family. I've started a business. I've managed to stay relatively healthy and fit. All milestones that I set out to achieve. But when I was 16, 17, I just knew I wanted to be a good dad. I wanted to run a successful business, make a bunch of money. I wanted to be physically healthy and fit. I wanted to be athletic still in my older age. I always wanted to be able to outrun my kids, and I still can. Good luck keeping up with me. That was one of my goals, and I've done those things. So it's really hard to be insecure when you became the thing you wanted to be. but I'm sure there's a bunch of subconscious ones. One thing that does pop up in my brain often, just to answer the honest question, to give you guys something, because you might think that I'm full of shit right now, although I'm being very honest. They just don't. When they register, I just discount them. But one does pop up, and I'll show it to you. This tooth right here. So this is my bad side. If I have everybody knows that they're in front of cameras and video, photos, that there's a good side and a bad side, right? So I got this tooth knocked out when I was a kid, and it sticks out. This front one sticks out further, and it sheds. So there's a nice little angled gap that isn't on this side in my front tooth. Anyway, I'm used to having gaps on my teeth, so it's not the biggest deal, but I am conscious of it time to time. It pops up in my brain, and I just don't care. But that's one of them, especially growing up. It really bothered me because I didn't have a front tooth for years. That was really terrible. Man, this cigar is fucking good. I always say this when I smoke a good cigar, which is often. I don't really buy bad cigars, but this one's wonderful. Let's take this wrapper off here and see how low we can get with this bad boy. Can you guys hear it? My voice has changed today. It's definitely a lot different, especially if I just relax and let it resonate naturally. All right. So do you have any insecurities? Again, my answer is, yeah, of course, I'm sure a lot, but they just don't register and I don't care. And then the next one is, how do you manage to stay signal this whole time? That's the question. How do you manage to stay signal this whole time? Actually saying, silly goose, you don't have a bad side. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Brody saying you don't have a bad side. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Let's go. Dambria says, I always thought you were married. It's definitely a personal choice. Yeah, it is a personal choice. That's the good thing, is it doesn't get forced upon us necessarily, but Dambria saying it's all for taxes. That could be a benefit if you're thinking short term, but if you're somebody who earns a lot or has a lot, potentially will have a lot or earn a lot, that could be a huge risk, because you can't, even if I commit to somebody, doesn't mean they're going to be as committed to me. So I can't control other people's actions, but marriage is for some people it's not. It's a lot less of a thing today than it ever has been before. And it's quite sad, but it's reality. Ashley's saying her favorite car is a 1969 Chevy Chevelle. That's cool. That Chevy Chevelle 60s. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I think the 70, 71's a little cooler, but I feel you. Chevys make some badass cars. You're saying, Damer's saying her dad has a 49 Chevy 5-window. It's gorgeous. Yeah, fuck yeah. That's beautiful stuff. Ashley is asking what kind of cigar is that and brand. I read it earlier. It's a new one for me. I've actually never had it before. This is very interesting. It's the Rough Rider by Indian Head. Indian Head is the handmade company. They hand roll their cigars. Let's see here. So yeah, Indian Head cigars, Rough Rider. It's fucking amazing. I don't think it's flavored, but it is so good it feels like it's flavored. It's fucking amazing. If you're asking out of curiosity for wanting to buy one for yourself, there you go. If you're asking for your curiosity to wanting to buy one for somebody else, there you go. Rochelle saying it's like you having a constant Linda voice. Yeah, I think so. And I apologize, guys, for today. The sniffling, the coughing, the sneezing. It's reality. Okay. Dambier saying, right, Ashley, he's a good-looking guy, and he knows it. Well, it's kind of hard to not know it when you guys always remind me, and I'm very grateful for it, and thank you. I appreciate it. I also appreciate that you guys not only keep it a little spicy, but you keep it respectful, and you guys respect it amongst each other. It's actually really cool. I do appreciate that. It's nice to, see, I guess, and be part of. There is something, I guess it's the pretty girl privilege thing, but there's something that I get a lot. Or I used to get more, not as much anymore, but people would always ask me, especially with girls. Well, I don't want to get to it too much. It's a little personal, but people will ask all the time, oh, I bet a bunch of girls throw themselves at you. And it's well, if you're saying that, then maybe you're right. And why would, are you trying to put that on me? It's my fault? What the fuck would you like me to do? I've grown a beard to try to hide the face. Doesn't work. I've shaved the beard to show the face. It doesn't work no matter what. It's just the reality. I don't know. It's a curse. But people sometimes try to make you feel bad for it. I'm sure that happens to girls too. But I think it's silly because, yeah, so who cares? Just give a compliment if you want to give a compliment. And you guys are good at doing that, so I appreciate it. Instead of using it as a way to belittle somebody, which is just a personal issue somebody might have with themselves. Okay. Dave, you're saying, do you smoke random cigars or have a favorite? I do have a favorite. I would say my favorite is going to be Epernay, is one of my favorites. There's a company called Rocky Patel, and my father's cigars are some of my favorite. They're very similar to this, actually. They're rolled a little better than these, so I have a little less issues with, like right now, I'm holding it so the wrapper doesn't break because it's a little dry. But the My Father cigars, fuck, they're good. They are so good. Actually, his son, the My Father company of cigars, had a son who learned cigar rolling, and he makes cigars now too. I'm forgetting his name. Maybe it'll come to me, but those are super fucking amazing too. So I do have a couple brands. So there you go. Dambria, did you finish the Viking tattoo? I didn't. I was having a fucking allergy attack. I did my best, and it took me forever to get anywhere on it. If you noticed it the other day, I was tattooing a Norse mythological sleeve, and I did not finish it. We were supposed to, and I didn't. Okay, next question. Well, I guess I didn't answer the question. That she's asking, how do you manage to stay single? I know is the right way to ask it, but it says signal. How do you manage to stay single the whole time?
That's why I managed to stay single this whole time, you know?
Is that why you're asking? Because I have that?
That's why I managed to stay single this whole time, you know?
Yeah. I've managed to stay single because I'm very focused, I'm very driven, and I have lots of goals, and I've recognized that maybe relationships at this point in my life, well, I've decided consciously that it's not something I want to pursue again, at least not right now, and just living my life and accomplishing my goals is my focus. Raising my kids, my relationship status changed pretty unfortunately about 8 years ago, and it was right at a point where I was 32 years old. It took me years to recoup my energy to get back to normal life again, and by then I was in my late 30s and with teenagers, so I really didn't think it. My business was so far behind where it should have been, I wanted it to be, that I decided to take it seriously so that I could raise my family the way I wanted to, and give them everything they deserve, and that meant focusing on my business and my opportunities there. So I took women out of the equation. In terms of long-term relationships, it was just something I wrote off for a long time, and now it's not something that concerns me because I have just things that I'm working on that matter more to me right now. Jennifer's saying that women hear the same thing. Yeah, it's really annoying. But, people have funny responses to things. Sometimes it's their own insecurities rubbing through. David saying, and your soul is radiating a beautiful energy. Speaking of radiating, let's go to the last question here. There's a question sent to me on Facebook, says, do you know how to put water in a radiator? That's a good question and a very important question because yes, I do. And you need to know how to do it correctly. So I'll answer that. Since you said my soul's radiating a beautiful energy, I think it's radiating fucking sinus infection right now. Amanda's here. What's up, Amanda? Thanks for being on here. It's really cool to see you, and I appreciate you being there. Sorry for the cough. Sorry for the sniffling. You're just going to have to deal with it. Okay. So if that's a real question being sent to me on Facebook, do you know how to put water in a radiator? Yes, I do. I'm not going to give you advice other than don't do it if the car's even warm or hot to the touch at all. If it's hot to the touch, do not open the radiator cap. Wait till the car is completely cooled down to put any fluid in it. And depending on the type of year and where your model and where you live and the weather, you have to do the right ratio of water to coolant or / antifreeze. So I do know how to put water into a radiator. Yes, very mechanically inclined. So thank you for asking. I don't know if this person really needed to know how, but yeah, it's a very specific thing. Don't hurt yourself. If you can't touch it, if you can't touch the engine, then don't touch the radiator cap, and don't touch the engine trying to see if it's too hot. You'll know it's too hot. It's radiating heat. So yeah, thanks for being on here, Amanda. It's good to see you. Kimmy says, I love that about you. Most men jump into another relationship quickly. You made your life your own. Yes. People do that a lot. They jump into relationships, and I don't blame them. I mean, life's fucking lonely, man. It gets hard, and people don't have the stomach for it. And I fucking respect that. It's hard. For you single ones out there, some of you I know you are, it's rough, man. At night, you know, you have to find ways to entertain yourself or even just cope. You know, it's difficult. Sometimes you want somebody next to you. I get it. It's going to turn into Loveline all of a sudden, but I know it's hard. Being single's hard. Being in a relationship's hard. Both of them have their ups and downs, so I totally get it. Ashley said she learned it the hard way a long time ago about the radiator. It's a rough one. I've seen people do it. I've helped many people on the side of the road before with the radiator. I see them open it because if your car's overheating and you open your radiator cap, you can fuck up your car pretty bad because the temperature change is what cracks metal. So if you open the radiator and it starts to cool down too quickly after overheating, so it's extreme high temperature, you let all the radiator fluid out of it inappropriately when it's too hot, and it lets all that fluid out, which means that it cools down too quick and it can crack your engine, and that is not good. Today's Earth Day, Dambria. I did not know that. I was cutting trees today, not planting them, or unless that, maybe that's coming up. Earth Day is coming up. Amanda's saying, are you sick, farmer? Yes, I have terrible allergies. I don't know if it's turned into an infection. I feel fine. It's just, it's windy. It's beautiful and sunny outside. I'm screwed. That's just normal. Rochelle's got it right, 100%. I've only met one woman my whole life that I ever thought would take my attention in a committed way for the rest of my life, and that's that. Okay. Ashley Gonzalez. Yep, I had a North Star engine. I don't know what that means. North Star sounds like a bad Chrysler company or something. Okay, there's a couple other questions. If you guys don't have them here, you should ask them now. We're approaching an hour and a half. This is going to be my limit here soon. I do appreciate you guys. I've managed to keep this somewhat lit this time. Desiree, thank you for pointing it out. Yes, I am very stuffy. I am screwed. So, Amanda, if you want to bring me some elderberry, I will take it. I do have vitamin C. I'm actually feeling okay. It's just the stuffiness that's very distracting. Danbury is saying by Angel Falls. Excuse me. I'm not sure. Let's see, go back. For Earth Day, I'm totally going to plant a few trees. Oh, you're going to plant a few trees by Angel Falls. I get it. Angel Falls is a beautiful place. I used to spend a lot of time up there as a little kid above Bass Lake. So a couple more questions. Okay. If you weren't tattooing, what would your second career choice? What would be your second career choice? God, that's so fucking hard. There's so many things I want to do. I couldn't do it. I couldn't choose one. I'd probably just, like with tattooing, I would just choose whatever's most lucrative because I got a family to provide for and I have money to make and lots of opportunities. So I just pick one. I have lots of things I could do well, but I can't pick them all. So I got to pick one, at least in terms of making money. I do lots of things on the side, but I would say if that was not my first career choice, I'd probably get into filmmaking, photography, or business of some sort. All of it relates to business, so it'll lead me there eventually, which is why I'm here doing this, because film and photography has always been really important to me. No Town Vandals on here. I love Angel Falls. I see a old school looking unpainted metal chopper. Don't know who that is, but nice bike. Looks like some old school shit. At least to the young kids today, that'd be old school. Thank you, Amanda, for saying that you hope I feel better soon. I will. By tomorrow, I'll feel a lot better because I feel way better today than I did yesterday. Danbury, use honey. That's scientifically proven to not be true whatsoever. I wish it was true. Sorry to shoot it down, but I have tried everything under the sun, and the best thing is sleep, rest, and hot water. So Jennifer is saying that sometimes having a small circle of close friends or one close friend means everything. My mom always said it. You don't need a bunch of friends. You don't need any friends. But if you have one good friend, you've probably lived a pretty good life. If you have one really good friend, and I do. So I appreciate that. If you guys don't already know, he's been on here before plenty of times. And Jennifer, the honey part is, like I said, it's not, it's, I think, a wives' tale. So it doesn't work. Okay. So that was the last question. What would be my second career choice is photography and videography, which is why I'm doing this here. One of the reasons. You guys always ask really good questions, and you guys always join me on here and get nice and spicy. You guys keep it alive, and I always appreciate it. And I like seeing you guys on here. It's really, really cool. I always appreciate you guys getting into the comments and asking questions. Of course, that's what this is a live Q&A. You can ask me anything and I will answer it. It's very rare that I don't answer the question. If it's actually even lately, it's been a lot less often that people ask things I can't answer. But I do absolutely appreciate you guys. So you guys, thanks for being on here. This always goes really fast for me. So even ending it seems weird because I feel like I just jumped on. It's been over almost exactly an hour and a half, and I answered all the questions. That was a ton this time. Thank you guys for submitting them. That was a lot on Instagram and Facebook both, as well as DMs. So you guys can always DM me the questions too. Follow suit there. If there's anything you guys want to know more about, some of the topics and stuff I love to talk about, excuse me, are things like camping, things like art, business, philosophy, anything, in terms of like how to live a good life and that kind of relationship type stuff is really cool. Personal development. I talked a lot about books here, a lot about relationships, a lot about people, ideas, and I always appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. Mom, if you're still on here, I hope you have a good night. I love you. Sis, I know you're still on here, so I hope you have a great night, and I love you, and I can't wait to see you soon. Landy is asking one last question here. She's saying, what do you like capturing for photography, nature, ? Weddings ? I hate doing weddings. Weddings is a great way to make money, but a terrible way to spend your time for me. I like capturing nature. If I can capture nature or just anything artistic, I like shooting people, but really going out in nature and capturing something there. If you watch my YouTube channel that's not tattoo related, just my adventures, you'll see exactly what it is I like to capture. Just anything nature related and outdoors. Let's see here. Damien saying doctors still recommend it though. Yeah, I don't doubt it. Doctors recommend lots of things. Doctors are drug dealers, if you ask me, most of the time. But the science shows that, unfortunately, honey is just not the thing. It doesn't help me whatsoever. Brody is asking a question before I jump off here. What do you think about them wanting to put a 6-month hold on AI? I think it really isn't going to make a difference no matter what they do. They're never going to be able to control it. We move way too slow as humans. It's a good question, and I'll leave it with this. Artificial intelligence can do something that we can't do, which is we can get a lot of input really quickly, whereas computers and artificial intelligence takes input really slowly because it has to be entered with thumbs and fingers, whereas we can take a lot of sensory input really quickly. So we can download fast. AI downloads slow, but AI produces or outputs really fast and at tremendous speeds and volume. And we do that really slow. Really, it takes us hours, days, years, sometimes a whole lifetime to tell somebody how much something matters, means, or makes us feel, how much something's significant to us. It could take a whole lifetime. It could take 1 million songs to tell somebody about what love means or something like that. AI doesn't have that problem. So I don't think we're going to be able to keep up with it. Its output, once it starts, and it has, it's going to be beyond us. We'll lose complete control of it, I believe, at some point, most likely. You're not going to be able to stop it. So putting a hold on it really, I don't think makes a difference. Kim, thanks for being on here. I hope you have a good night. Good night, Brody. Thanks for being on here. Good night, Dambria, Jennifer, Ashley. Thank you. And Dambria, yes, I will see you next week. So you guys submit your questions. Join me here. If you haven't already subscribed and you're watching this, you should do so. You guys know that these are still left up live, or I'm sorry, they're left up available on the YouTube channel to watch at a different time. So I'm always still getting comments about them, well into the future. So if you guys have something on here that you want to ask or that you would like as a topic, I always look forward to it. I take this show as a time for me to connect with you guys, and I really appreciate it. I appreciate you being on here, and I hope everybody has a good night. And that's it. So thank you guys, and we will see you next Wednesday, episode 46. Joshua A. Farmer out.